Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you're in the world. Welcome to my daily Instagram live / YouTube, depending on which platform you're watching this on. We are studying the book of Deuteronomy, and we are on chapter 33, which is the second to last chapter of the book of Deuteronomy. So this series is almost over. So if you're joining us as a continued listener, or viewer, whatever you want to say, welcome back. And if you're joining for the first time and you don't know what's going on, welcome anyways. I hope that you guys stay so that you get a little bit of this review that we've been doing for the past 2 months. So I guess let's just get started. I finally got the name of the Bible that I've been using, which is the NIV Life Application Study Bible. So I've been referencing some footnotes that provide extra details about what these chapters have been talking about with the insight of different Bible scholars that have studied the Bible and have done research on the history to coincide with the Bible. So it is credible information, but if you want to check it out, it is called, once again, the NIV Life Application Study Bible. So it kind of looks like, your Bible page, and this is just on my phone because I took a screenshot, but it's going to look like this. So you're going to have the Bible verses, and then at the bottom there's footnotes that give you extra insight and summary of what you just read. I find it really helpful because if you're not a big history buff and you need to fact check on certain things, not only does it give you extra information, but it gives you the sources on where to find it. So yeah. A great recommendation, and I'm going to be using the study Bible for this particular chapter as well. I feel like it helps summarize it a little bit better. So, let's get started. Chapter 33. Chapter 33 begins where it says, "Now this is the blessings with which Moses, the man of God, blessed the sons of Israel before his death." Now, in the study Bible, it has a footnote in talking about the man of God. And this is the first time that the Bible ever references that phrase. And what it means is basically like a prophet. So this is the messengers of God, the man of God. It says that this phrase is used 70 times in the Old Testament. And then the New Testament also uses this title for Timothy in 1 Timothy 6:11. Moses was viewed among such prophets in this conclusion to the book. And it also says C 34:10. So we'll get there. And then let's keep going. So we already know what it's talking about when it says the man of God. So then it says, "The Lord came from Sinai and dawned on them from Seir. He shone forth from Mount Paran, and he came from the midst of 10,000 holy ones. At his right hand there were flashing lights for them. Indeed, he loves the people. All your holy ones are in your hand, and they followed in your steps. Everyone receives of your words. Moses charged us with a law, a possession for the assembly of Jacob, and he was king in Jeshurun." So, going to the footnotes, because it does mention that they're in the midst of 10,000 holy ones, and the first thing that I thought that meant was the chosen people. However, the study Bible does say that the holy ones could possibly be a reference to the angels that helped bring the word to Moses. Because if you know, most of the time, God is not the one physically bringing the word to humans. So it says that God speaks, but it may be through the aid of a messenger angel. So that's a possibility, of course. And then let's keep going. So then basically Moses is just blessing the people one last time, because if you joined in for the last review yesterday, you know that Moses' time is coming to the end. He's 120 years old, and it's time for him to rest in peace. And also, it wasn't his, he wasn't able to cross over the Jordan into the land, the Holy Land, or the chosen land. So let's begin with the blessings. So first, he blessed the tribe of Reuben. Remember, there's 12 tribes of Israel. So he blessed the tribe of Reuben. He says, here is the prayer that the tribe would survive in large numbers. Judah, Moses prayed that the tribe would be powerful in leading the nation to be victorious in battle through the help of the Lord. Levi, Moses prays for the Levites to fulfill their tasks, God granting to them protection from their enemies. Moses omitted Simeon, but that tribe did receive a number of allies in the southern territory of Judah and did not lose their identity. I thought that was interesting. I didn't even realize that Simeon wasn't blessed in this. Then Benjamin, that this tribe would have security and peace because the Lord would shield them was Moses' request. They were given the land in the end of Judah near Jerusalem. Joseph. This included both Ephraim and Manasseh, who would enjoy material prosperity and military might, which would compensate and reward them for the Egyptian slavery of their ancestors. Ephraim would have greater military success in the future than Manasseh, as the outworking of Jacob's blessing of the younger over the older. Birthright, basically. Zebulun and Issachar. Moses prayed that these two tribes from the 5th and 6th sons of Leah would receive God's blessing in their daily lives, particularly through a trade on the seas. Gad. This tribe had large territory east of the Jordan and was a leader in gaining the victory in battles in Canaan. Dan. Dan had the potential for great energy and strength and leaped from its southern settlement to establish a colony in the north, where Dan is compared, in the north, sorry. Naphtali. This tribe would enjoy the favor of God and the fullness of his blessing, having land in the west of Galilee and south of the northern Danites. Asher. The request is that this tribe would experience abundant fertility and prosperity, depicted by reference to a foot-operated oil press. Shoes of hard metal suited both country people and soldiers. And that was the blessings of all of the tribes. This was once again Moses' last blessing to the people, as his time has unfortunately come to an end. So yeah, that's basically chapter 33. So we just heard from Moses. I'm going to open up the discussion to the comment section, as I always do. If there's anything that you guys want to add to that or have questions about, now is the time to discuss. Do you know what the oil press represents? No, if you have some extra insight, I would love to hear. You know, the non-believers left the chat. Yeah, that tends to happen. And sometimes they stay and they stick around, and that's good too. Everybody is welcome. I'm still curious about this oil press. Okay, Jimmy says 12 tribes of Israel in the scriptures the Most High only speaks about. Yep. Okay, Jay says Moses was a meek man, the meekest on the face of the earth. I'd like that kind of character. I feel like that's interesting because he was given such a dominant role. So it's like, it's not a easy position for him to fill in any way, shape, or form. I did think he definitely did his thing. Moses was despised. I definitely don't agree with that. I think Moses was very loved, although he was tough with the children of Israel at times. He only did what he was supposed to do, and he was very frustrated with the people of Israel, because no matter how much he set all the evidence and the law for them to abide by, he gave them literally a whole entire, what do you call, he like fed them on a silver platter the instructions to how to conduct things so that they would be blessed, and they just did not listen. But Moses can't be judgmental in this, because not even he was so obedient for the most part, not even he made it into the promised land, because God was upset with him. So it's definitely a hard position that Moses played, but only Moses could have played it, I feel like. The people feared Moses as a representative of God. I feel like that's more like it. I think there was more of a fear of Moses, but in means of they respected him. I mean, they followed him, right? So it's not like he couldn't have been that much unliked. They could have all ganged up against him and, try to overthrow him, but they never tried to do such a thing. What a send-off, a company of a man and the host of heaven. Right? I believe, they did gather there, but obviously they couldn't see God, but it appears that God was speaking through Moses. But I wonder what was their visual in this representation, because if you look at the beginning of the chapter, it paints a really cool picture where it says, let me go to the beginning of 33, where it says, the Lord came from Sinai. So that's one direction. And if you go to the study Bible, it gives you the directions of where everything is. So it said, these are mountains, Sinai, Seir, and Paran are mountains associated with the giving of the law. Sinai is on the south. Seir is in the northeast, and Paran on the north. These mountains provide a beautiful metaphor borrowed from the dawn. God, like the morning sun, is the light that rises to give his beams to all the promised land, holy ones. Oh wait, no, that's separate. But yeah, it's like kind of like a triangle, right? It's interesting. Moses was indeed meek, however, he had a temper. He sure did. Due to this, he wasn't allowed to enter the promised land. That is correct. If you want to know more about that, it does talk about Moses and the rock. So you can check that up. We covered that in chapter 3 as well. So that review is on YouTube if you want to catch up. If really any of you are tuning in and, just catching this randomly, I have all of the chapters on YouTube. So you can start from the beginning or whatever. And, you could see all of these. He gave them instructions, but the people was and always will be rebellious to God. Absolutely. And that's why he really started, reacting. He had a temper because he wanted them to do so well. It's kind of like your parents. Sometimes when you just wouldn't listen, they would get so frustrated with you and they would overreact. And I don't know about your parents, but I know mine did sometimes. And sometimes it got to a point where they overreacted to the point where they would apologize. And, they're human. It is what it is. But when you love someone so much and you just want the best for them, and then you see that they're just not living up to their potential or they're going in the wrong direction, it's normal, it's natural to have those kind of reactions, to feel frustrated. Okay, guys, I'm going to stop there. Thank you guys for tuning in. We only have one chapter left, so that will be it for our Deuteronomy series. It's been a very long series, however rewarding. I feel like we've been able to get a better understanding on this book, which is oftentimes confused. So I think that we've been doing great, to say the least. So for those of you that have been participating and have been helping me learn along with you guys that are learning as well, us as a community together, learning, sharing knowledge, and just joining in a fellowship together. It has been quite a time. So tomorrow we will finish off this series. So I hope that you guys can tune in. I'm going to set the time tomorrow for 7:30 p.m. And then that way we can all be there. So I hope to see you tomorrow. And I'm going to post this on YouTube. So if you missed it or you tuned in late, you can catch it on the recap. Ciao.